Welcome to the Nasoraean Truth. And wise as a serpent. I'm not much on Gnosticism, the passwords and the nonsense and the stupid stuff. It's just so dumb. It's just Greek philosophy, a bunch of Platonic garbage, a bunch of demiurgic bullshit. What we have to do here is we have to understand the truth. It's not in some book, some magic texts that you can say some incantation and all of a sudden you're saved forever. You don't have to have Roman imperial theology. You don't have to confess Caesar or Jesus as Lord of your life nonsense. All of that stuff is pretty much trash. Now, it's very simple. Jesus Christ was a Nasorean.
Gnosticism, the Empire's Leftover Salad. By Nasoraean Ray Taylor, Ph.D. They never understood the river. They read it, quoted it, dissected it, but never entered it. Gnosticism was the Empire's leftover salad, bits of Nasorean truth scooped up by Greek hands and tossed with philosophical dressing. It began when the living current of Hayyi Rabba, the great life, leaked beyond the banks, and the intellectuals of Alexandria decided to turn water into metaphor. The river became ether, the utras became planets, and baptism became a poem. They took what was living and made it literary. The truth of motion became a diagram. Instead of entering the current, they wrote about it. They built a ladder to heaven out of syllables and wondered why they never reached the source. The Greek Misunderstanding. The Nasorean truth was simple. Dip, breathe, remember. Water carried light because it moved. It washed illusion, not through debate, but through immersion. The Greeks saw that and thought this must mean something profound, so they turned the river into philosophy. They wrote of Pleroma, of Sophia, of cosmic falls and broken worlds. They called the Demiurge evil and the world a prison, but they still lived inside it, worshipping thought instead of freedom. They mistook living truth for abstract light. The great life, Hayyi, was not a concept or a god among gods. It was movement, energy, presence. But the Greeks wanted shapes and names and hierarchies. They built a spiritual bureaucracy that mirrored the empire they pretended to reject. The same obsession with rank, order, and revelation, only this time in heaven instead of Rome. 2. The Gnostic Problem. The Gnostics spoke of knowing, but what they knew was always written, never lived. They read about light from Hayyi and about utras in the ether. They spoke of secret names and hidden truths, yet none of them touched the river. None of them said their name twice and let the current remember for them. They turned living water into theory. They wanted revelation without sweat, illumination without immersion. So they wrote about Sophia falling from the Pleroma and the Demiurge creating a flawed world. It was elegant, tragic, poetic, and useless. It transformed the ache of empire into mythology. Your pain, they said, is cosmic. Your slavery is metaphysical. Do not rebel. Meditate. Wait for gnosis. Empire loved that message. It was the perfect sedative. Rome could tolerate mystics as long as they never left the library. 3. Rome's favorite heresy. The truth is simple. The empire never fears ideas, it fears motion. Motion is what drains the swamp, collapses temples, and drowns kings. Gnosticism, for all its rebellion, never moved. It stayed trapped in thought, rebranding the river as an illusion of matter and calling the body a mistake. But the body is water. The breath is current. The pulse is proof. So Rome let them talk. Let them form sects, write gospels, argue about eons. Let them worship light as long as they never touched it. Gnosticism was rebellion without risk, mysticism without motion, safe heresy. 4. The Nasoraean Difference. The Nasorean does not speak of enlightenment. He enters it. He does not study light, he drinks it. The river does not require theology. It requires courage. Dip, breathe, remember. There is no demiurge, no cosmic drama, no fallen goddess. There is only the living current, Hayyi, the great life, flowing before the first word, beyond every scripture. When you enter it, you stop needing saviors. The empire invented heroes, so the people would forget their own power. The Gnostics fell for the same trick, Jesus as revealer, Thomas as twin, Mary as secret teacher. All of it kept the focus on special individuals instead of the current that flows in everyone. The burning scroll. All the scrolls of Gnosticism can burn, and the truth would remain untouched. Because truth is not written, it drips. It flows. It breathes. When the scroll catches fire, and the words Pleroma and Aeon turn to steam, what remains is water, the living drop that never belonged to the page. That drop is memory. That drop is motion. That drop is Hayyi. Let the Empire's myths burn to ash. Let their light turn back into river mist. You do not need their cosmology, their saviors, or their hierarchies. You only need the breath that moves and the water that knows your name. Forget the Pleroma. Forget the Demiurge. Step into the current and feel the truth that never needed decoding. Veritas lux mea. Veritas flumen meum.
Veritas